Alright, what is up guys? So I'm finally back from Taiwan and since it's Pride Month, it's June 1st. So I want to make this little video about this very famous Chinese Kung Fu. So it is called Kui Hua Baodian. The literal translation, it's like a sunflower book collection, if that's what you want to call it. So in order to practice this ancient Chinese Kung Fu, yes, you have to perform a self-castration first. Nobody else can do it for you. You literally have to chop off your own balls. And it's very interesting. So FYI, the picture on the right, yes, that is a dude acting as a trans woman, if that's what you want to call it today. And they probably had different terms back in the ancient China thousands of years ago. So he was able to master this technique. Now let's talk about the history behind it. So the title is called Xiao Jianghu. This is the title of the novel. Since then, it's been made into many TV series adaptations over the years. It was originally written back in the 1960s by an author from Hong Kong. And, this is the story about crazy ancient Chinese warriors flying through the air, about their legendary adventures. And, you also have people shooting fire and ice out of their palms, and people can do self-healing, stuff like that. Obviously, this is 100% fictional. I have to make this clear at the start. But what I found this very interesting is that this actually became one of the best-selling novels throughout Chinese history. It is right up there with, you probably have heard of The Journey to the West with Sun Wukong. Or actually, I think the Japanese stole the idea by turning Sun Wukong into Goku in the Dragon Ball series. So this is extremely popular in Chinese literature and throughout Chinese history. I'm not making this up. I think the most eye-catching detail was the quest for the Sunflower Book. So it is told that throughout ancient China in this book that anybody that can master this technique will rule over the world with formidable Kung Fu. They will become unbeatable. But when people actually found this Sunflower Book, when they opened it up, the first line of the book read that 欲练此功，必先自宫. So the literal translation is that if you want to practice this Kung Fu, you must cut off your own balls first. Yes, that is actually what it says. Then came this guy. This is probably the one of the main villains in the story. And so he goes by the title of Dongfang Bubai, which literally translates to undefeated in the East. So this guy, after many years of a hard search, he finally found the Sunflower Book. And obviously he was very shocked when he first opened it. He thought, oh my god, I'm gonna have to cut off my own balls. But he wants to, learn this Kung Fu and dominate the world. So he decided to perform a self-castration. And so the technique after you perform castration on yourself, so this Kung Fu is very similar to knitting if you actually try to watch this series. So the user will shoot out needles with their hands. They use it as a weapon to pierce his opponents. And there's one other variation of this technique as well. It's called 辟邪剑. It's the one that instead of using needles where you use a sword. But it's also a very feminine technique, and it also requires a self-castration. So after you master this technique, the user will of course lose all of their testosterone and essentially become what is a modern day trans woman. So the guy you see who is, I would say, the secondary villain, he's actually not the main villain in the series or in the book. In the end he would die beside his boyfriend after or her boyfriend, whatever you want to call it, after a group of strong warriors formed an alliance in order to defeat this guy. So the message at the end of the day, even if you master this technique after you perform self-castration, you're still not formidable. The world is vast, and there will always be somebody better than you in the end. Of course, this is all fantasy world, but what I found very interesting is that the book itself and the TV series was so popular in Chinese culture. I have seen many adaptations of this, and so many TV remakes have been made throughout years, and they've had very, very solid reviews. And so the main plot of the story revolves around this guy who's, gay and trans, which China has very strict, anti-LGBTQ laws. That's in place even to this day. But for some reason they're okay with showing this on TV. I find it's very interesting. But all the drama aside, I know some people, you don't want to get political, or like you don't like getting this LGBTQ agenda shoved down your faces. But I actually highly recommend this TV series. I found it highly entertaining, and there's a lot of good Chinese Kung Fu involved. So, and if you want to watch it, I recommend the 2001 version. That's what I really like. And I'm sure you can find it on the internet with English subtitles available. And there's one I have on YouTube that only has Chinese subtitles. It is 40 episodes and it's action filled. I find it super exciting. I still go back to watch it once in a while. And thank you guys so much. That is it for this short video. So like I said, I am back from Taiwan, and there's a lot more Chinese history to come. So this weekend I will release a video on the man behind the root cause of the 100+ year Chinese Civil War that is still raging on to this day. Thank you guys so much for watching. See you in the next video. Bye bye.